Hey guys, Digitech Lifestyle here, back with another video, and this is some big news for the cryptocurrency world. According to Elite report, Biden is preparing to issue an executive order on the cryptocurrencies. The order could have a major impact on the market depending on its specific provisions. Now, we don't know all of the details, and that's been true of the order yet, but we can speculate on what it might mean for the Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, and other cryptocurrencies. One possibility is that the order could lead to increased regulations of cryptocurrency industry. This could make it more difficult and more expensive for cryptocurrency exchanges and other businesses to operate, and could also make it more difficult for people to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. That's a negative, of course. The other one is that the order could focus on mitigating the risk that cryptocurrencies pose to the financial system. For example, the order could require cryptocurrency exchanges to hold more capital reserves, or could impose limits on the amount of money that people can invest in cryptocurrencies. Now, I thought about it this way: what if I told you that increased regulation could actually be a good thing for cryptocurrencies? Think about it. If the government starts regulating cryptocurrencies, it means that they're taking it seriously. And if they're taking it seriously, it means that they see the potential for cryptocurrencies to change the world. So while increased regulations may make it things more difficult for some businesses or some cryptocurrencies in the short term, it could actually be positive for the crypto industry long term. And also, I think it's going to wash out all the crappy digital assets that are out there. You know, you have tons of them, like thousands of those things out there, and 99% of them don't have utilities, nothing backing them. So you guys need to think about the both negative and the positive. That's what I'll say on that one. The order could also focus on cracking down on the use of illicit crypto purposes, like I said, such as money laundering, ransomware attacks. This could also make it difficult for criminals to use cryptocurrencies, and could also boost confidence in the market, which I think is correct. So what does it mean for the crypto market? It's early to say. To be honest with you, it's not really 100% clear. But if you are an investor in the market, you need to stay informed. Like and subscribe, guys, and really and truly, keep ahead of developments. Watch the latest news. Do your own research when it comes down to some of the assets out there. Like I've mentioned, not financial advice. XRP, XLM, XDC, Quant, Hedera. Those are just a few of the ISO. I think Algo and IOTA is another one that are the ISO 222 tokens. Casper is another one, which is doing stuff in the trade market. You know, it's up to you guys if you want to sit on the fence and watch the world pass you by. And before I finish this off, I got a couple of videos to play you. One's like 40 seconds long, and the other one's from Michael Barr, who is the Federal Reserve's chairman. And it's important to listen to what these people are saying about what they see happening and coming through in the market. And the other one's from Wells Fargo as well, actually. And these are very important people when you think about it. Wells Fargo, huh? Anyway, hold on. Let me go and get you that video. I actually got it wrong. This guy's from MasterCard. He's appearing at Whipple Swell, and he's going to be talking about why banks and all that need to come on board. So listen.
You've been very vocal about you think this is as transformative, crypto, as the internet was in the late 90s when it first came into being.
The internet was a distributed network that allows people to transmit information. And blockchain is a distributed network that allows people to store and transfer ownership assets. I have the conviction for that vision to realize itself, the financial industry needs to come on board. There is no other way. There is no other way for blockchain and these business models to go mainstream without the financial industry.
You're hearing it, guys. This guy's from MasterCard, and guess what? MasterCard's already involved in it. Debit cards already involved in it. I can buy crypto with my debit card. So come on, they're already here. They're not just telling. They're not telling us. Do you know what I mean? Kabar, where he talks about digital assets, ownership. So it's a long video, so it's better for him to break it down in his words, because I don't want to butcher what the man's trying to say, but there is an awful lot to unpack from what he's saying. And then I'll leave it at that. Please like and subscribe if guys, if you're interested in hearing more information about these kind of topics. I'd love to hear back from you guys, especially about Biden's executive order. That's going to be an interesting one to discover what it's going to be about. Anyway, I'll end it off here, and I'll just play you out with this one.
Positions in his career, he served key roles in both the Clinton and Obama administrations. Please join me in welcoming Vice Chair Barr to the podium.
Thanks, Mark. It's really a pleasure to be here. One of the downsides of being here, however, is I got to look at the agenda and realize that I couldn't stay and listen to any of the papers. It looks like just an extraordinary conference, a great group of papers and discussants, and I'm sure your first day was really interesting, and today looks very interesting as well. So I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be able to welcome you for the second day of this conference. This is obviously a time of great change and great promise for the payment system. The Federal Reserve plays multiple roles in the payment system, including as a supervisor of banks and financial market utilities, and as an operator of some key components of payments infrastructure. The research done by experts, including those in this room, is vital in helping us to understand what works well in the payment system and what can be done to improve it. We introduced the FedNow service in July to facilitate secure and convenient instant payments. We developed FedNow in response to a growing demand for instant payments from both households and businesses. 100 years ago, the Fed facilitated payments by moving checks across the country by train. FedNow represents new rails by which payments can keep pace with today's businesses and consumers. The Federal Reserve has now made these rails available. Banks can build on this infrastructure to provide better services for households and businesses. It's hard to speak about payments innovation without mentioning the increased experimentation with new payments technologies, such as stablecoins and central bank digital currencies, happening in the private and public sectors, both in the United States and around the world. As this work proceeds, we must carefully weigh the benefits and risks of different uses of these new technologies. Stablecoins, as I have said in other remarks, need to be well regulated. When an asset is pegged to a government-issued currency, it's a form of private money. When that asset is also used as a means of payment and a store of value, it borrows the trust of the central bank. So the Federal Reserve has a strong interest in ensuring that any stablecoin offering operate within an appropriate federal prudential oversight framework, so they do not threaten financial stability or payment system integrity. We have also provided guidance to the banks that we supervise on how they should engage with their supervisors when considering use of these products. In terms of central bank digital currencies, we continue to speak to a broad range of stakeholders and to conduct basic research in emerging technologies that might support a CBDC payments backbone or for other purposes in the existing payment system. Our research is currently focused on end-to-end system architecture, such as how ledgers that record ownership of and transactions in digital assets are maintained, secured, and verified, as well as tokenization and custody models. This research helps us to consider how we could design a digital analog to the paper banknote that permits a transfer of value between two parties without direct facilitation by the issuing central bank. It is important to note, however, that while the Federal Reserve supports further research and continued engagement with a broad range of stakeholders, the Fed has made no decision on issuing a CBDC. And as Chair Powell has emphasized, we would only proceed with clear support from the executive branch and authorizing legislation from Congress. With this in mind, learning from both domestic and international experimentation can aid decision makers in understanding how we can best support responsible innovation that safeguards the safety and efficiency of the U.S. payment system. We'll hear more about the results for some of these domestic and international initiatives on CBDCs later today. International collaboration and coordination are often essential in payment systems, as we heard in John Cunliffe's keynote yesterday. In 2020, the G20 governments endorsed a roadmap for enhancing cross-border payments, aimed at making them faster, cheaper, more transparent, and more accessible globally. The Federal Reserve supports and continues to work with the international community on these issues, and I look forward to our ongoing engagement with stakeholders, both public and private, on the path ahead. Closer to home, traditional payment methods are still the backbone of the U.S. payment system, despite the surge in interest in emerging payments technologies. It's important to continue to advance research in both new and older payment methods. Questions on the use of cash and the dynamics among the players in the debit card industry remain worthy of investigation, as is evident in the conference agenda. Earlier this week, the board proposed revisions to the interchange fee cap for debit card issuers as required by law. Public input is a key element of the rulemaking process for the Federal Reserve, and I look forward to reviewing the comments that we will receive on the proposed revisions. I also appreciate the opportunity for Federal Reserve staff to engage with the broader scholarly community on this and other topics, as research is an important component for our consideration of regulatory actions. Engagement with researchers, stakeholders, and the public will help the Federal Reserve continue to support a safe and efficient payment system, which has been part of our mission since the Fed's establishment in 1913. Finally, whether we talk about traditional or emerging payments technologies in the public or private sector, innovation must proceed in a way that respects fundamental principles for serving the public good. Payments innovation should support and promote broad access and financial inclusion. Financial inclusion is affected by many factors, but too often the cost of payment services is prohibitive and represents a barrier that limits access for low and moderate income households and small businesses. I am pleased to see that so many of the topics covered in this conference touch on factors that affect financial inclusion, issues of cost, trust, privacy, and security, among others. In conclusion, I want to thank the organizers for putting together this forum, and I look forward to further engagement. Thank you all for being here and giving us the opportunity to learn from you and from your research. Thank you very much.
I especially like the fact that he actually mentioned about 2020. They've been planning this stuff for a long time, way before then. These discussions have been, the financial system since 2008 has been on its knees. Anyway, guys, Digitech Lifestyle out. Like and subscribe. Take care of yourself.